Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of SlowCustoms. And in today's episode, I have my updated Theo and my Trevor, you could say. I'll explain more on Trevor in a moment. Anyway, let's look at the main one here. So this is my updated Theo. Like Lexi, I really wasn't happy with how he turned out. I didn't hate how he turned out originally. But I figured if I was gonna use my spare Trevor for something else, I figured might as well turn my Theo into a better version of itself. So yeah, anyway. So this Theo is basically based entirely off of the Scottish Twits version of Theo. It was really good, honestly. I really love that one. So I figured I might as well, I have the Trevor, might as well do what he did. So all this really is, honestly, is just a simple chassis cut, basically. So what I did was I took the original Trevor wheels, which is actually right there, and then I cut them in the center or whatever to shorten it to like a short chassis. And then to get the gears to line up, I just had to flip the wheels around. That way they interacted with this one. So now his gears actually turn with the rest of them. So I thought that was actually really cool. So like Scottish Twits did, I painted the rims silver, just because I think it looks real nice, actually. I liked how they came out, so I figured might as well do it. So that's why these are all silver, or silver or whatever. The gear is also painted silver, another thing Scottish did. I didn't do this one just because I didn't feel like it. But yeah, I think it looks good, actually. Here's the other side with the more wheels and the flywheel there. That does actually spin with the rest of the wheel as well, so it just runs atop this one. So I thought that was actually pretty cool how that did that. Anyway, next we have his funnel. That is, I believe, a peg from a Adventures Ivan, but I believe it was actually the same Ivan that I used for my chassis swap Ivan. So I figured I would kind of cut the plastic off of it and put it onto his funnel to give it more height, because I mean, the original was so short. Like, it was so bad. So this is his new funnel height. Originally, I did want to super glue it on, but the super glue really didn't want to stick to the metal piece. So I ended up putting a little bit of super glue in and wrapping the metal piece with a little bit of masking tape. That's why there's this little bulge thing there, so oh well. The buffer beams are just pieces of card that I stuck on and then painted. So that's the front, here's the back. It's a little sideways on the back, but you're not going to see this very often, so. I also think I might, after this, go back and paint that tail lamp just to make it look good, I guess. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm really happy with how he turned out. I'm so happy that the gears actually move. And he looks so much better. He is in scale with the other engines too, so. Yeah, I really love how he came out. So, definitely a good favorite of mine. Now we go on to my Trevor, I suppose you could say. So this Trevor is based off of one image. I'll put it on now. I saw this image online one time and I never saw it again. So when I went to go make this, I originally made this entire thing off of memory. And that was so bad. Until I said on Twitter that, or I posted on Twitter that I had like an update progress thing for this thing, and the person actually, or someone on Twitter actually found the original image. So it is basically a steam traction engine put onto a chassis for railways. So I figured I have the spare Trevor, why not? So yeah, that's why Trevor looks like this. So let's get into it. I'll kind of go for a reason to make him into this later, because I want there to be a reason. he looks a bit better from this side. So what it basically is a little piece of balsa wood on the bottom to act as the running board. Ooh, excuse me. And then toothpicks, or sorry, popsicle sticks on the side here to create the kind of like base of it. So, yeah, there's not too much. This was actually a fairly simple one to do. That just kind of goes all the way around. Then for these pegs here that hold up the roof or whatever, they're just toothpicks that I cut down and then stuck on. The original Trevor, I tried to center it as best as I could, and I think I did pretty good, actually. The first time around, he was, like, really off-centered, so yeah. But that is the original paint, just because I figured why not keep it. I mean, no reason to change it, so, yeah. Anyway, yeah, his face is a kind of like print, or not a print, a copy of the Trevor face, because this face was actually my Thane face. So what I did was I took the original Trevor face off, painted in the eyebrows or whatever, and then gave it to Thane, because I always wanted Thane to have his, or have like a nicer face, and I figured if I used the Trevor face, I might as well put the better one on Thane, because I actually plan to use Thane, so that's why Trevor's face looks a little janky, because this was originally Thane's. So, yeah. Anyway, the roof is another piece of card that I just cut down to size and then stuck onto this one toothpick up here to create the support. So I stuck that on. Then what I did to get the funnel through is that Trevor's original funnel was too short, and it had that big kind of like curvature bit at the top, I guess you could say. So I cut that off, and then what I did was I poked a hole in the roof, or in the card roof or whatever, and then I stuck a plastic dowel thing from one of the tenders in there with a bit of hot glue, and it filled in the hole. So that looks good now. So yeah, the roof is just painted in simple gray. I tried to keep this color scheme of him actually kind of the same to him, just because I figured, why not? Why wouldn't he look any different? So that's why it's green on the bottom with red line in, and then his support pieces, I guess you could say, are yellow. Because I did cut off the cylinder thing, or not cylinders, I want to say water tanks on the side, the little bits that stick down on the chassis. Anyway, quick detail on the back. There's a little barrel there, or what looks to be a barrel. That's just a Lego's cylinder piece. I don't know. I saw it in the original image. And then this little bit here is actually from the original water tank. So yeah. The flywheel also does still turn, so that does spin freely. So I wanted to keep that in there. I thought about some lore on why Trevor would be turned into this. But with like recent knowledge that I found out about the ownership of Trevor, it doesn't really work anymore. Because the original plan was he was sold onto the NWR by Jim Cole after he shut down the Orchard, and he now works on the branch with Edward. But yeah, I found out that Jim Cole doesn't own Trevor or the Orchard. The church does. So, yeah, I have to figure out new lore for this guy. But if anything, this was just kind of like a fun one just to do. Because, I mean, I don't really have a use for Trevor besides this. So, yeah, I thought it'd just be good for shits and giggles. So, yeah. We'll get Theo back in here because he's the real spotlight. I really like him. So, yeah. This is kind of like a longer one. I wasn't really prepared for this one. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing this randomly. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.